Okay, I've made a bunch of videos about immigration over recent years, and many people have the typical knee-jerk reaction that, oh my god, that's racist. Well, there's a simple analogy that will highlight the double standards going on, and it's a simple question you can ask yourselves, and the question is, does Japan need Somalians? Nothing against Somalians, this is purely an example. Japan as it is now is a racially and culturally homogenous country, meaning 99% of the population are Japanese. Would a city like Tokyo, where everyone's Japanese, be a better place to live if you took 100,000 Somalians and dumped them over Tokyo? Would Japanese culture be richer because of that? Would the Japanese people be happy if you were to do that? Let's put it another way. If you went on holiday to Tokyo and all you saw was Somalians and burqa-clad women, would you think Tokyo better because of it? If you went on holiday to Tokyo and all you saw was Somalians and burqa-clad women, would it be Japanese culture you were experiencing? The whole concept of multiculturalism tells us that Tokyo is not good enough as it is, that it needs more African and Arabic migrants in order to be a better place. When in all likelihood, if 100,000 Somalians moved into Tokyo, then Tokyo would become a more divisive and unpleasant place to live. The truth is, the Japanese people are happy as they are. Japanese culture is rich and diverse enough as it is. The people of Japan don't go to sleep at night wishing for more African migrants. To put it simply, Japan does not need Africans, in the same way that Somalia does not need Japanese. The culture and way of life of Somalia does not need a mass influx of Japanese in order to be a better place. So it makes no logical sense whatsoever to say that Europe benefits from third world mass immigration when Japan wouldn't. This simple analogy, does Japan need Somalians, destroys any argument towards mass immigration. If Japan wouldn't benefit from such large numbers of non-Japanese, then no country would. But this is exactly what's happening across Europe, and because we're all so scared of being called racist, we sit back and let it happen. Now obviously that doesn't mean kick out all the bloody foreigners. It means having sensible limits. And Angela Merkel allowing unlimited numbers of African and Arabic migrants into Europe, many of whom aren't even fleeing war, is not a sensible limit. But multiculturalism's good and we should celebrate it. But should we? There's a big difference between having an Asian shopkeeper who's integrated into the community to entire sections of your city becoming third world ghettos, because ordinary people would not vote for that. But multiculturalism's good and we should celebrate it. But should we? Let's just consider that children as young as 12 in Tokyo are able to ride the subway alone on their way to school. The reason is simply that Tokyo is a racially and culturally homogenous society, with a stronger sense of trust and community than the third world ghettos that are fast becoming the norm across the West. Because migrant turf wars on the streets of Paris is cultural enrichment. Because the migrant shanty towns of London and Manchester is cultural enrichment. Because German women needing rape-proof jogging pants due to migrant sex attacks is cultural enrichment. Aren't the people of Tokyo just green with envy? Again, no one looks at Tokyo and thinks to themselves that it would benefit from mass third world immigration. So why do we believe that London and Paris do? Well, the answer is simple. Europeans have a disease. That disease is called political correctness. Thanks to politically correct dogma, Europeans have been taught to believe that anything that isn't no borders happy rainbow land is racist. This belief can only lead to one thing, the breakdown of traditional European culture. That's not racist, it's not xenophobic, it's common sense. The fact that Sweden is on course to becoming a third world country is proof of that, as journalist Ingrid Carlvis writes. Sweden's leftist establishment and media believe a cornerstone of their perfect society is multiculturalism and large-scale immigration from some of the poorest, most backwards nations on earth. Swedes who disagree with this risk being called racist, fascist and Nazi. We had a perfectly good country, she says. A rich country, a nice country, and in a few years' time that country will be gone. Now, if I was a black man, I'd be respected for talking about these racial hypocrisies. But as a white man, when white people talk about race, it's racist, which is a double standard that needs to stop. Consider the words of Labour MP Diane Abbott. White people love playing divide and rule. We should not play their game. Yeah, thanks Diane, that's not racist at all. Or Mayor of London Sadiq Khan. There are too many white men on transport for London. Cheers Sadiq. White people are a plague on the planet, says one African American student. Just some of the many examples of the kind of rhetoric that white people would fucking never get away with. Double standards which need to stop. So yeah, Europeans basically need to grow some backbone and snap out of the liberal trance that has turned us into fucking weaklings. Oh, Donald Trump said pussy 15 years ago. Well, who the fuck cares? All this mass hysteria over every little word has turned society into a police state, where we're all walking around on eggshells worrying about saying the wrong thing. And having that climate of fear and tension has done far more damage to society than words ever did. So do yourself a favour and learn to free your mind from the disease that is political correctness. Speak frank and openly about things like immigration and whatnot, because what we need most right now is people willing to say it like it is. Not little snowflakes like Lily Allen, but strong, free-thinking individuals willing to say it like it is. I'm trying to be one, and I encourage you to do the same. And finally, 2 things to start doing to start getting informed. Number 1, listen to Red Ice Radio. These guys are hands down the greatest truth network going right now. If you want to wake up as to what's going on in the world in terms of globalism, Zionism and the cultural Marxist agenda, of which flooding Europe with non-Europeans is a big part, then listen to Red Ice Radio. And 2, watch Paul Joseph Watson's videos. This guy is just doing a fantastic job at exposing what the liberal left has become, i.e. unthinking fascist morons. And he's just a great example of someone willing to say it like it is, when not in the thought prison of political correctness. Also, if you're on Facebook, check out the following pages. All doing a fantastic job at exposing the liberal bullshit that's feminising men, destroying masculinity, and turning us all into fucking weaklings. And it's gotta stop. Thanks for watching.